My stepmom kicked me out, then found out I inherited everything. 3 days after Dad's funeral, she had my stuff in garbage bags on the porch. I stood there, staring at my whole life reduced to black plastic, and she just crossed her arms like she'd been waiting for this moment. Your father would have wanted you to stand on your own. 2 feet, she said. I was 19. Dad had been gone 72 hours. I grabbed the bags without a word. No tears, not yet. I'd save those for later, alone in whatever cheap motel room I could afford. Mom had been dead since I was 12, and Dad had married Victoria 2 years later. She'd been fine at first, distant but polite. Then Dad got sick and something shifted. The way she looked at me changed, like I was an obstacle. Don't expect any handouts, she called as I loaded bags into my beat-up Honda. The house is mine now. I drove away watching her in the rearview mirror, standing in the doorway of what used to be my home. That night crashed on my friend Jake's couch. My phone buzzed, unknown number. Is this the daughter of Robert Chen? A woman's voice, professional. Yeah? This is Margaret Wells from Wells & Associates. Your father's attorney. We need to schedule a meeting regarding his will. I sat up. His will? Yes, there are some significant matters to discuss. Can you come in tomorrow? Margaret's office smelled like old books and expensive coffee. She slid a folder across her desk, her expression carefully neutral. Your father updated his will 6 months ago, she said, without informing your stepmother. My hands shook opening the folder. The house. The savings accounts, the investment portfolio Dad never talked about, the life insurance policy. Every single thing had my name on it. But Victoria said, I couldn't finish the sentence. Margaret's mouth tightened. Your stepmother was under the impression she would inherit as the surviving spouse. Your father, however, had concerns about her motivations. He left her a modest monthly allowance, but the bulk of the estate goes to you. I thought about those garbage bags, the way she'd smiled. She doesn't know yet, does she? We attempted to reach her this morning. She hung up when we mentioned scheduling a reading. I moved back into the house the following week. Well, my house now. Victoria was still there when I arrived with the sheriff and Margaret. Her face went from confusion to rage in seconds. This is my house, she screamed. Robert married me. Mrs. Chen, Margaret said calmly. You have 72 hours to collect your belongings. This is insane. He wouldn't, she turned to me, eyes wild. You did this. You manipulated him. I thought about every cold dinner, every dismissive comment, every time she'd made me feel like an intruder in my own home. I didn't have to, I said quietly. Dad saw who you really were. Took him a while, but he figured it out. The sheriff stepped forward. Ma'am, we can do this easy or get out of my sight, she hissed at me. 3 days later, I watched movers carry her designer furniture into a U-Haul. She didn't look at me once, just got in her BMW, which, turns out, was leased in Dad's name and now mine, and drove away. Jake came over that night with pizza. We sat in the living room, the same room where I'd grown up, where Dad used to read me bedtime stories. Before Mom died, feels weird being back? He asked. Yeah. I looked around at the empty spaces Victoria left behind, but it's mine now, really mine. I found Dad's journal later in his study. The last entry, dated a week before he died. Victoria showed her true colors today, asked about insurance policies. I'm changing everything. My daughter will never know I almost let this snake take what's rightfully hers. She deserves better than being thrown away. I cried then. For Dad, for the home I'd lost and found again, for the parent who'd protected me even in death. Standing on that porch now, months later, I look at the house that tried to reject me. Same doorway Victoria stood in, so certain she'd won. Turns out the only thing she kicked me out of was her fantasy. Everything real? That was always meant to be mine.